just feeling rough. Hey there, folks. It's 11:01 a.m. Wednesday, September 27th, 2017. 11:02, boo-boo. 2, understanding. 0, completely. 1-1. Strong spirituality. I have to hurry up and get this video out, but just having some real issues at the moment. My head's cracking so hard. Part of what I am inside is coming out into my head again, just for a little bit, moving stuff around. Wow. Anyway, I was just doing a video, and closer to the end of it, Serena got a hold of me, and I felt a feeling from her, and then when I attached to her, she looked at me, and it's like she was losing something, and I was like, and so it had something to do with the kids and stuff. I'm like, what's going on? And then so I said, okay. So I relaxed a little bit. I went back on with the video. I mean, when I was talking the whole time, I didn't stop the video, but then I was trying to hurry and finish the video, and then Ta'ir came in, and they had some meetings going on. It was a council meeting and something I had to get into, so I got off the video, and then I went to both situations. First Serena, and that was no issue, but just something she felt that was strong regarding my kids, so I got involved. But anyway, the reason why I'm making this video is to tell you what I was talking to Ta'ir about. One of his sons, Naag, hurt himself. His right arm. That's not what we were talking about. That's just something I'm looking at. Anyway, when I go to look at something, it's hard for me to let go. That's why sometimes I do when I do consultations, when I see something, I go with it. I feed you all I can, as quick as I can, as long as I can, and poof, then I got to pop out. And as a lot of you know, sometimes that's really hard for me to do. It's hard for me to jump from one thing to the other all the time. I'm a conscious mind. I'm no better than you. I'm strong. I'm a little different, but so what? Anyway, he got a hold of me because of something that's written in the second book. When I wrote that second book, it was 2015. Creation, its journey evolving into paradise, and I think 2015 it was published, and then by 2016. I was set to be out of my body before the end of actually October 28th, 2016. Excuse me, 2015. And that never happened. And that did change some events that happened in the book, where I was saying things would happen about 2016, and instead turns out it's 2018. So I did correct that date from knowing better now, but other than that, I've kept the book the same. But because I did mention in the book that especially around the San Francisco area, that there would be a few Anunnaki walking around. Some of the problem children. And I was just talking with Deanne about it. She went to go get involved in this little consultation thing we were doing with Ta'ir and Serenity. There's actually two different ones. Anyway, that it's there's something they're going to do which is going to cause a situation, which might bring about the same thing, but there'd only be their intention is not for anyone to be seen in public. Their intention is to get a job done. It's the other side. As I understand it, is still going to have a few of these Anunnaki wound up coming off the shores, maybe even underneath the out of the bay, that San Francisco Bay, whatever it is, where the Golden Gate goes through. About them coming out somewhere on the shore, the part that's inland, coming up on the inland shore. Anyway, there's going to be some issues down there. I don't have a date or anything. It's something they're close to enacting. So there's a meeting talking about it, and he wanted me to be there. So he came to me pretty strong. Just popped in and said hey, and said my presence was required. Again, a lot of people, this sounds nutty. Well, so's the stuff I do. That's okay. Things are going to happen the way they need to, as best as possible, as fast as possible. And that kicks in hard when I get to drop this body. The main thing, the most important thing is that it happens. If you want to send your kids away to a special trade school, ballet school, college, the most important thing, as long as you haven't displaced your honor, is to get them at that school, right? So you might have to take out a loan where you were hoping not to, but if you have to, then that's something you might be willing to do in order to get the job accomplished. It's a little different what I'm talking about, but it's still still a very real thing. It's still like that. Everything's being done in any way it can be done, hopefully the best way it can be done at the moment, to make the right things happen. And soon that'll be a lot more prevalent. That will be prevalent all throughout creation. This is your time now. It's time for creation to have its turn, that being itself instead of what something else wanted it to be. But anyway, so that's a little ruckus that's going to be happening around San Francisco. They'll be feeling it in the ground. So I can't say anything else about that. When something does pop up, I'll let you know. I'm trying to put different annotations at the end of the videos to connect you to other videos that where I've talked about things that are relevant. I'm doing what I can. Deanna and I are so busy doing everything. These spheres, I mean, almost half the stone for these spheres have to be cracked. Chisel and hammer. I mean, there's a lot happening. So anyway, and those of you that get stuff from us, we appreciate your patience. We really do. You've been really great. I'm just saying that there's so little to do. There's so much to do and so little time to do it in. so little to do. That'd be cool. Actually, no, it wouldn't be, because then I wouldn't be doing my job. Anyway, we're coming to a point soon where things will break open, but not in some spectacular bomb blowing up and invasion force. Folks, that's never going to be allowed to happen. I told you that the Anunnaki were coming, that they had done some stuff, them and the Antids, what I used to call Antids. Starships were going to start falling out of the sky when they started testing the Drak shield, energy shield. And what happened? They did. All of a sudden you have all these UFO crashes everywhere. Ireland, Australia, all over the place. Ireland, one of them was trying to get out through this barrier that the Drak equipment puts up, and they literally crashed, came back down. You know, they go multi-dimensional. They go in between the dimensions. They go interdimensional, I should say. Excuse me, and they actually boom hit the barrier, and it knocks them out. They immediately, the equipment they have that keeps them interdimensional, that takes a dive. They come out into the open, back here to the third dimension, and then they're all beat up, and then they come through the atmosphere as best they can. Like the, go look up meteor over Hungary takes a 180-degree turn. Or you know, it's a burning meteor that comes in and goes like this. It was a ship, right where poof, it comes. If you look in the very beginning, right where it goes poof and opens up, you can see this a little star drive comes off and goes poof. It has an explosion and goes sideways like that. A wave goes sideways. I mean, folks, I told you this was going to happen, and it did. I'm here 2 years longer than I was supposed to be. Some things have changed. But there will be people around San Francisco not too long from now that can feel something happen. Saying something now would be against what needs to happen. I'm not a little kid wanting to say, "Ooh, look, I knew this, look at me, yay, me." It's like a little David Wilcock as a 14-year-old. Sounds like I'm beating him up. I'm not. I just wish he'd be who he really is inside, that's all. All of us, when we're put in bodies, we're messed with. So I just want you all to be awake and be yourselves. Anyway, you'll start seeing some of that before too long. It'll be this year. Before the end of the year, you'll be feeling little things happening. But 2018 is going to be a very big year with y'all. It will be with creation, but folks, this stuff is coming down right here on our planet. Excuse me, on the Earth, planet we live on. Sky is body. So, folks, anyway, look, just wanted to hit you up with that, and here's a couple other videos I'll put at the end of this one that can connect you to some other stuff that's important information for you. One of them is a video that I did, and I'd stop in between or tell you to, you know, pause here. I'm trying to help you learn to see things for yourself. And then once I tell you what it is, those of you that really care, that are serious about this, you go back and relax, and then you try to see what I told you was there and try and see it for yourself. And if you don't find, don't worry about it. 1 second. Something trying to attack me right here, get into my conscious head. That's stupid. Anyway, so this will be some information about that. And those people that are the different scientists, geneticists, and medical professionals that have just run into me, you'll find out later that this stuff is real. I talk about what I can see, and the fact that I can do what I do and I'm proving it to y'all, that helps you become, well, it helps you and your business get going, but at the same time, I want to softly break the concept to you that, as many of you already have anyway, is that we're not alone. And then later on, as time goes by, you'll understand what was behind what I said. There's no big deal that I saw something and knew about it first. But as little things happen next year that I talked about while I was still here, it's more reason to have more faith in the other stuff I'm telling you, which is about you. About you becoming yourselves. Remember, we're not these bodies. We're what's inside them, trying to drive them. And everything, almost every single being in a body is, and there's only a couple that aren't. And I was involved in that, not anyone else. They have a dual core, a dual spirit energy core. A Kundalini, 2 spirits in there. Anyway, folks, look, love you. Have a good one. And those of you that are interested, some of these other videos might help. Love you, man. Take care.